Hey Fragrance Family, I'm Daver.
I'm Talia.
And we're the Fragrance Bros. Coming at you again with my lovely wife as guest host again, so glad you're on again.
Thank you.
And today we are reviewing Cuir d'ange from the Hermes line of Hermes. Now I received some of this for review, but of course it won't affect my review at all. Let's get straight to it. Date introduced is 2014. It's classified as a leather. Notes are heliotrope, hawthorn, violet, narcissus, musk, and leather. Alright, so what do you get out of longevity out of this?
It wasn't good.
Really?
Seriously. Like, it lasted from, I put it on around 6:45ish in the morning, and it was gone before 10.
See, I get excellent longevity out of this. I get
No.
really good longevity, like 9-10 hours.
Really?
Yeah. The problem is with the projection. And so what is the projection? What do you have projection on
Not
this?
at all. I mean, not at all. I think when I said goodbye to you that morning, I don't think you could smell it. When I got home, you for sure couldn't smell it. And I mean, I had to get and I put on 4 sprays up top and on my wrist. And I'm a 3 spray at the max kind of girl.
3 spray max girl. Yeah, I would also say that this is really weak on projection. That is my main complaint, but that is a common theme with the Hermes collection. They're all really light. It seems like it's that way on purpose. So I don't know if it's necessarily a fault, but most of the fragrance enthusiasts that are fans of this channel usually want something that is average or better.
Yeah.
Is for performance, and this kind of suffers in that way. But regardless of how it projects, I think it lasts a long time on me. I mean, I could smell it for a long time. Season, I would say this is probably best in the spring, but I could also see this as a Vivaldi scent, an all 4 seasons scent in a way. It is very light, and it has a lot going on. Like from the notes, you can tell that there is obviously leather, and you would usually have leather in a denser fragrance. But because this is a lighter fragrance, it kind of can go in a lot of different directions. And there's also some flowers in there, so that kind of pulls it in a different way too. Also, I think it's better in the daytime. Purpose, I would say this is great for casual work and even, I think, formal. It has kind of a really regal type of scent to it, and I think it would be good for that too. Okay, so what does this remind you of?
I didn't like this. I really didn't. So it reminded me of like an ointment, a balm that you put on.
Okay.
Okay, so I've been at my desk all week. It's been a paperwork kind of week. And just the thought has just been, oh no, I'm going to be dealing with these papers for weeks on end. And it's going to smell like this. It's going to smell like this. Especially because I was doing a lot of writing, so it was right up close to my face. Just a thick balm. Not even as good as chapstick. It was awful. He taking pleasure from my pain. It was awful.
So for me, I remember when this first came out, I was a little bit skeptical about how this was going to be, because I love the Hermes line in concept. I like the idea of what the Hermes collection does. And there are definitely some in the Hermes collection that I absolutely adore. We have reviews of the entire collection, so you can go back and watch all the reviews. I have another one coming after this as well of Epis Marine, so stay tuned to that. But when this came out, I was a little bit skeptical because I saw, leather. I like leather, and then I saw all these flower notes, and I was like, I don't know if this is going to be that good. Because for me, whenever I smell the Hermes collection flower scents that have a lot of flowers, like Osmathunin and some of the other ones, I don't really care for those. They're way too light. Didn't really think they did a great job at those personally. But when I smelled this, I really loved it. I really like it.
It's a good thing fragrance isn't a deal breaker in this house.
Now, Hermes is one of the things that Hermes is known for is their leather goods, and their leather scents are also spectacular. And whenever I smell this, I really get the sense that they have really done justice to a leather scent. What I like about this is that it is very different from normal leather scents. Normal leather scents are really usually dense, They're on the animalic side typically, and they usually kind of have this connotation of sensuality or sexuality a lot of times, sometimes masculinity, these type of things. This is none of those things. It's very fresh in a way. It's like a very fresh take on a leather scent. It's very musky. There are floral notes in there, but it's not dominated by floral notes as I thought it might be. So I really get the leather right up front. I really get a strong leather smell, a clean leather, and musk, and then the floral notes in the background adding kind of a lightness to the blend. And the floral notes aren't really distinguishable to me. It's just kind of in the background until it dries down. And then when it dries down, I definitely get more heliotrope.
This is definitely not the leather that's bringing sexy back. It ain't.
Another thing I want to point out too is that Jean-Claude Ellena is known for his minimalism in his fragrances. One of the things the Hermes line in there is it specializes in his minimalism. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know exactly what notes he used in here. I know that, the official notes are the ones that I listed, but I don't know exactly what he put in here, because in Poivre Samarcande, for instance, Poivre Samarcande, one of my favorite fragrances, probably top 10 favorite fragrances, one of her least favorite fragrances. In that one, it's a lot of Isoe Super and trace amounts of violet leaf. And the violet leaf adds a peppery smell to the overall blend of Isoe Super. Now when you smell it, it smells very peppery and has a lot real spicy. And I don't smell violet leaves, but the way that Jean-Claude Ellena will mix two things together to get something completely different is really, really interesting. And he does that in a lot of different fragrances that he has. So I don't know if the notes in here are actually what he put in here. I'm assuming that he put in, a few notes to get a broader smell in here.
Yeah.
What I think is interesting about this is that because it doesn't really have like the animalic references that a lot of leather does, and I don't mean to mean that leather kind of smells stinky.
No.
But it doesn't smell like typical strong cow leather. So because it doesn't have the animalic references, it has a very clean smell, almost like skin. It's very, very different, but I really, really enjoy what they're doing here. It's very sunny and bright and optimistic, almost innocent. The name means heavenly leather, and I really get that. Like, it almost seems like angelic, like it's a different realm of leather. Like, it's not the down-to-earth human carnal leather. It's the angelic, light, ephemeral leather. It's interesting.
It is interesting. It's definitely from a different realm. I'll give you that.
I know you don't like it, but I personally think this is a gorgeous scent. I think this is super inoffensive. It's perfect for an everyday work scent, office scent, especially if you have the money to wear this every day. I think it's great for that. So bang for buck, this is $255 for 100 ml, and that is pretty high. The Hermes line is very high. It's very high quality though. To me, I really think this is hard to call. I think you have to really fall in love with this scent to really say if it's worth it or not. It is on the lighter side, so you're not going to get your money's worth out of the performance side of it. But it's so unique and so interesting and so wearable, I think, that you could wear this a lot and get a lot of play out of it. Now, what about compliments with this?
None. No, I didn't. I really didn't. It's not going to get compliments, I don't think. I think if you're going to wear something this light, it's going to be for yourself.
Yeah, I would totally agree. I think this is hard to be a compliment getter just because, as you said, it's very, very light. Mm-hmm. It's also one of those scents too that is very pleasant, and even though it's interesting, it's one of those inoffensive type scents that people aren't going to turn their heads to find you.
It's not an attention grabber.
Right.
Yeah.
Interestingly, I had Jeremy smell this and see what he thought of it, and he thought he thought it was interesting. He thought it smelled good, but it instantly reminded him of his grandmother.
Throw down. Yes. Yes.
Now, I don't get the grandmother smell from this at all. I don't think it smells like that. I think it's a very good unisex fragrance, and it doesn't really give me the grandmother hug that I think that it gave with him. But I can see where he's coming from, though.
Yeah, that totally makes sense because, you know, grandmama's got to loosen up those joints a little bit with that balm. I mean, come on.
Final rating, what do you give this?
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to give it a 2. I mean, I can get past the fact that I don't like it very much, but if you're going to spend $250 on it for it not to project very well, and then also, I mean, for me, it didn't last. And I had to stay on it all day. I don't think it's worth it.
I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. I really, really enjoy this. It's not one of those scents that really will blow anyone away. And I think that's one of the things that really is a like, but not an absolute love. But I really do enjoy the scent a lot. It is one of the best leathers that I've smelled in a long time, just because of how unique and how just sheerly wearable it is. I think it's really, really nice.
It's one of those opposites attract kind of thing.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, so that's all we have for Cuir d'Ange. Let us know down in the comments down below if you've tried it and what do you think about it. Do you like it, love it, hate it? Let us know. And of course, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe down below. We'll love you for it. We'll see you later. We're the Fragrance Brothers. Bye.
Bye.